Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well today. Today's video is going to be about two very special Nike shoes. So the first one we have is the Vaporfly Next Percent. Now I always get the names wrong because I think you have to say sort of like the Zoom Air or the Zoom X Vaporfly Next Percent, but we'll just go for the Vaporfly. Vaporfly Next Percent is a lot easier to say. And then we have the Alphafly Next Percent as well. We have these in the very nice mango colour. So a little while back, James and I did a shoe review on the Next Percent. So I'll leave sort of a little tag up here if you want to go and check that out. So I've had these since October of 2019. I have absolutely loved running, well, should I say racing in them. So at first I was very skeptical because at the time, you know, there wasn't many other carbon plated shoes around and I didn't really know whether they'd actually make a difference to my running. I took them on, the first run I did in them was a 5k run. I did take them shamelessly to park run because I needed to test them out and they felt really good actually. Still a little unsure on them at the time. The first major race that I wore them in was the New York Marathon. I had a really good race and yeah, in terms of the shoes, you know, they do make a little bit more noise than normal shoes. And the only thing that I would comment on is that my ankles the next day were a little sore and tender. So not that I've ever had ankle issues before, but there are a few sharp turns in New York. Not many, but sometimes you have to sort of like, we were turning sort of like streets, so you have to sort of turn. So that was the only thing. But since then I've done a couple of 10k races in them, some 5ks, and then COVID has struck, so I haven't really had the opportunity to. So I've done the odd sort of like session in them now. And I probably would say I've probably done about 80 or so miles in these, and yeah, still showing very well for like their wear. At the back, this little bit is sort of like starting to come up a little bit, but yeah, absolutely had a really good time wearing them. I wish that I could wear them a bit more, probably if I could afford to just buy trainer after trainer after trainer to wear them, but yeah, really enjoyed them and definitely have found them beneficial in my running, my racing and my training. But yeah, as a shoe they are really only meant for racing. You can do your speed sessions in them, but obviously you just have to think about the value of them and whether then as well, like it's nice to train in a shoe where you feel strong, but then putting these on and having the advantage afterwards is really good. So let's move on to the Alphafly. So a little funny story behind these actually. James is a shoe fiend. He like admits that he's a shoe addict, and you know, for me, I like to be a little bit more reserved with my money. And you know what, James, I'm very lucky. Like, I think probably James feels like if he buys himself trainers, he has to buy me some because I like look at him funny for buying them. So he thinks that if he buys me some, then it will sweet talk me round, which it kind of does work. But yeah, unfortunately I can't always afford like shoes all the time, but that's what he likes to spend his disposable income on, so that's okay with him. But yeah, he was texting me saying Lily, which is the cat, knows you haven't put your washing away yet. And I was like, how does he know I've not put my washing away yet? Like, there was a pile on the bed, like I can see the bed from my desk, and I was like, how does he know? How does he know that? And I was just like, it's a Friday afternoon, I'm just doing my work, like I'll do the washing like at the weekend, it's fine. And it turns out that actually he'd bought me a pair and left the box underneath the fresh washing, so that's why he knew that I hadn't put my clothes away yet. So yeah, had surprised me with a pair. And the first time I wore them was on a Saturday run. We had a 10k tempo on our plan and I felt like I was flying. I absolutely loved wearing these, and I've worn the Next Percent since wearing these and I can't work out what I actually prefer. I'm not sure if it's this shoe, so I'll talk a little bit about it. So as well as having the carbon plates like the Next Percent does, it also has these AirPods at the front, so it's quite cool. Sorry, it's got like a leaf stuck, but it's quite cool. You can see the pods and they just look really nice, I think. I think they look really nice. I wasn't too keen on the black and green as much as I was now they've brought out the different colourways. They've got more of a knitted upper, A few people have said that they struggle to get in them. Now, they're not very, it's not like they're really easy to slip on, but I don't feel like trainers should be that simple to slip on anyway. So yeah, I have to just sometimes, I feel like I've got quite wide feet anyway, or quite like a high arch, so I have to make sure that I'm putting them on properly, but you know, I feel completely locked in. Some people have said they felt unstable. Now, I do kind of sometimes feel that with the Next Percent, but I actually feel like I'm more stable in these, and I think it's down to the width here. It just feels a lot wider. My only feedback would be is that I have worn them twice now. I think on two sort of tempo runs. I haven't done any easy miles in them, and people say that they do feel clumpy in easy miles. So if I'm doing a session, I'll warm up in a separate pair of trainers. I'll go back, change my trainers, and then do the session in these, just so that I'm not sort of like just using miles for the sake of them. But I will note that I have, over the last couple of weeks since using these, that my calves have been a bit more tighter than normal. So I think that potentially these may be having an impact on the lower legs. It's not causing any problems. It's just something to be mindful of. But that's one thing, is that they probably aren't, even though I feel more stable in them, they're probably not as stable as what I think they are. And yeah, just can potentially cause some issues in the lower in the lower leg area if you do have them. But overall, you know, they are a lot of money. So we're looking at 260, 270, I think, for a pair. But you know, if you want a pair of shoes that's going to give you that edge on race day, these are certainly it. Now, I'd love to try, I can only be biased to Nike because I've only tried the Nike obviously carbon plated shoes at the moment, but I have absolutely loved them. I'd like to put the theory to test. It's hard because I don't want to do loads of speed stuff in them. And also like having to race lots, but a lot of people are saying that the Next Percent are really good for 5 and 10Ks, maybe sort of even half marathon, and these are a marathon shoe. But I'm going to be a bit torn because I've got a 10K coming up in a few weeks time, and a half marathon in December, so I'm going to have to pick which ones that I race in. I know that's very, I feel very grateful to be able to say that. I feel quite privileged that I've got like 2 pairs of shoes that I can pick from. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to make a decision in terms of what ones I go for. So yeah, maybe these for the 10K and these for the half, because I have really enjoyed the Alphaflys, I'm not gonna lie. So this video isn't going to be like too technical or anything like that, because I don't get into that sort of stuff. James is a bit more about the sort of like the weight of the shoes and the actual like sort of more technical bits about them. But in terms of just how they feel, they do feel great. They are made for racing, so I would like to try out the Tempo Next Percents, which are the sort of like training partner to these. So they're not a racing shoe, but they're sort of like a training shoe, so you get the benefits of the AirPods, but yeah, you don't actually racing them, so they're more the training companion. So good marketing from Nike, I guess. So yeah, that will be the next dilemma. But in terms of trainers, you know, if you have the money and you want to invest, then I definitely would recommend either the Vaporflys or the Alphaflys. Right now these are probably winning, but again, I've only done 2 runs in them, so, and those 2 runs were really good, so I'm a little bit biased on that sense there. But yeah, I'll have to probably do a few more tests in them and compare the times and see. So yeah, I hope that's kind of useful for anyone that's sort of maybe interested in them, to give a bit more of background about the shoes, what they're used for, and I just think, yeah, I mean, I'd love to sit here and say, yes, they're for everyone, but they're probably not for everyone. So yeah, just if you've used Nike before and you love Nike, then definitely go ahead. If you've used other brands and they're now carbon plated shoes within the brand that you love, go and try those. But yeah, I have become a bit of a Nike convert in the last few years and have really got on with some of their trainers. So yeah, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.